Are you struggling to get your story, your short story, your novella, or your novel finished? Do you need some accountability? If you do, that's okay. I often need that too. This video is about how we can overcome some of our procrastination and inconsistency by putting some structure around our writing days. My name's Selena. I'm a paranormal romantic mystery and horror writer. I'm a fiction book coach, and I am also the co-host of A Sense of Wonder, the podcast, with my best friend, Jared. We work to create a podcast that helps people to find a sense of wonder and childlike joy in what they're doing, because adulting can be a little bit overdone at times. How do you stay on track when you're struggling to write anything? You might have this great idea and you may know your writing craft skills, but you're also having some challenges turning up to get the writing done. Tip number 1, try to create weekly writing sprints. Say 25 minutes of writing and 5 minutes of a break. I have hosted this in our writing group in the Romance Writers of Australia Aspirers group, and it's worked wonderfully. 2 hours aside, 25 minutes, 5 minutes break, 25 minutes of writing, 5 minutes break. We do that 4 times, and it's amazing how often people get a lot more written. I think some of the things that help there is it's community and you're writing with friends. But if you're on your own, you can write with other people on the internet who have videos on YouTube. There are little focus cubes that you can get like on Amazon with 25 minutes, 50 minutes, 10 minutes and 5 minutes on it, and you just set that and start writing. Or you can go on a website called Flocus, that's Flocus, and that does the Pomodoro method too. So 25 minutes, and then the bell goes, and then you have a 5-minute break, a bit of a stretch, that type of stuff. The most important thing to do when thinking about sprints is not necessarily writing as fast as you can, but allowing yourself to have that time to write, giving yourself permission to be there and write, and learning what works for you. 25 minutes might work, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, it might be longer. It's you do you. There's no set rules about sprints. It's up to you what works for you. However, I will say that writing works best when it's done consistently. Writing a novel and even writing a short story and polishing it and rewriting it and developing it can be long projects. These can take a lot of time. So breaking it down into smaller chunks will help you to get it done. And instead of feeling overwhelmed by, say, writing 80,000 words, you might be writing 500 words within 25 minutes. And it's far more achievable to overcome any fear or resistance that you may be feeling. I know, I've been there. I get this too. Consistency is how we get our stories done. I used to wonder a long time ago, how do all of these writers get their stories written? And it's that they break it down into little chunks and they overcome the resistance each time, and each time is a win. Tip number 2, find a writing buddy and make it a weekly sprint. Make it a sprinting date or a writing buddy date. I am very fortunate to have met a lovely person through the Romance Writers of Australia, and we made a pact to pitch our novels at the next conference the year later, and that provided us some motivation to get together on a weekly basis and have writing time. So we set aside a couple of hours each week, and we would catch up for a few minutes about where we're at in our stories, keep each other accountable, and then we would write for, at that time it was 36 minutes. Weird time, but I'm a bit whimsical. That was how I did it. And our writing went from hardly having any time to our families knew that this was important to both of us. Not only did we finish drafts, did we pitch our stories, but we also created short stories, and she's been published in a few Romance Writers of Australia anthologies as well. And so it really does help to get more words on the page and overcome any resistance because you've got someone to be accountable to. Tip number 3, Set a deadline with someone that you know is going to wait for your writing. Now, when you know someone is waiting to receive what you've written, I don't know about you, but it gives me a good amount of just the right amount of good stress to help me to achieve that deadline. Some people can't achieve deadlines without knowing somebody really is there. So if we don't have someone who's keeping us accountable, it can be really easy to just say, I'll put it off. I'll keep pushing that back and not take the small daily or regular efforts to write the story or edit it or proofread it, whatever you're doing. When I do that, I don't want to let them down. So for me, it's a promise and I have to do it. Yes, the stress goes up, but then I feel fantastic at the end because I've delivered on what I said. I have finished what I said I would do. And I would encourage you to try and have that as a mantra. It's like, if you've promised it, do what you can to make it come to fruition and try not to put it off. Putting it in the calendar and working backwards from that date to where you are now is very helpful, and you can break down how many words that you've got to write into smaller chunks and write those small chunks over that period of time. Also, as a fiction book coach myself, I keep my clients accountable. Some people come to me just for accountability, and we go over what they've written. I read it, I give them feedback, and then they go away and think about that and sort of massage it into their novels. But some clients book in a developmental edit or a line edit with another editor as well as having coaching with me. So they get the accountability on a weekly or fortnightly basis from me for them to hit the deadline that they've given themselves to provide the full manuscript to the editor. And that also gives them just the right amount of stress to help them to be successful. But you can set yourself up for some success, and writing isn't always about the end goal of publication. It can be about accomplishing what you set out to do and knowing that your empowerment has grown because you said you wanted to write a book and you wrote that book. And that will give you self-confidence, and you'll change over the process of writing a novel or writing a novella or a short story. You'll become more self-confident, even though it can be really anxiety-driven at times to share this intimate part of yourself with another human being. So again, back to my point is that their editor, these writers' editors and their deadlines help them to double down and get their story written. Tip number 4 is hire a fiction book coach. Yes, this is possibly a completely shameless plug for me as a fiction book coach, but I really truly believe in the power of fiction book coaching for writers. I myself have had 3 fiction book coaches over the course of writing my paranormal romantic mystery, which is almost complete, and also in my latest novella. I can now finally announce the name, which is Awakening the Mother of Beasts, and it's part of the Otherworldly Emergence series, novella series with Bushland Castle Productions. But having a book coach there to help with plot knots, with character goals, motivations, and conflicts, helping to keep me accountable to getting the work done. And also the encouragement of, you're doing well, it's not bad the way your mind's telling you these are good things that are working here. Now let's just work on this part. Instead of spending all my time trying to fix everything on all levels, I'm being more strategic about what I'm actually writing. And that has helped me to write better stories, but also to develop creative writing confidence. I always recommend, if you really are struggling, do reach out to a fiction book coach. And for me, you can go to empoweredwords.com.au and check out my pages there. But the point of it is having someone that understands story with a fresh set of eyes on your writing can help you find where your, I don't like to call it a weak spot, but the spots for opportunities to grow and develop your story and yourself as a writer. They can help point that out because we are always too close to our writing. We have blind spots that we can't see where the opportunities are because we're too close to it, and we've got a lot of threads in our heads that we're trying to deal with for an entire plot for several characters, and we're thinking about our ideal reader and how we're going to publish this and how we're going to market it. So there's a lot going on. And having someone by your side who gets it, that is absolute gold for keeping you on track, and also for me on track, and getting that consistency and overcoming the fear that can at times be quite paralyzing when it comes to writing our stories. Every single time I've reached out to a fiction book coach for a different thing, they've helped me to develop a stronger draft. They've helped me to build writing confidence, and they've helped me to overcome any writing challenges that I've faced that have just helped me to keep my deadlines as well. Tip number 5. I think this is so important, community. I would recommend joining a writing group. Now, the reason I'm recommending that is writers understand what it feels like to be writing, and our loved ones may not understand what it takes to write a novel or another kind of story. They might not understand why you're sitting there daydreaming or you're locking yourself away for periods of time to write. And they may ask you, when are you going to get this book written? To be honest, it takes as long as it takes. Yes, you can put deadlines down and have all of the best of intentions, but sometimes the story, it needs time to mature, or you need to develop more writing craft skills, or, you need beta readers, or you need community, or you're dealing with imposter syndrome. Writers need community. So we write alone, but we're never alone because we've got all of these invisible people with us. But we also need connection with like-minded people. I say, reach out and check out groups like the Canberra Speculative Fiction Writing Group, the Romance Writers of Australia, who are incredibly nurturing for aspiring romance writers. And it doesn't matter what your subgenre is, you are welcome. And of course, there's the Australasian Horror Writers Association, which you can join and connect with their community groups, and, go to writing conferences and immerse yourself as much as possible within the landscape of creative writing, because this will help you to build friendships. You never know who your networks are going to connect you with and what opportunities are going to come from that. So being professional and friendly is really important. You can connect with others in a meaningful way over story, because we all love writing. So yeah, get involved, and just knowing that you've got friends who really get what it takes to be a writer can sometimes make all the difference to helping you to turn up and get that writing done. And if you're lucky, you might find a fabulous writing buddy like I did at the RWA, Romance Writers of Australia conference, and make a promise at the cocktail party that you're going to go and pitch your story that hasn't even fully been written at the next year. And there's nothing more motivating than agreeing to do something like that and getting it done within a 9-month period, which is what we both did. And I am incredibly proud of myself and my writing buddy for what we did there. Writing resistance is common for a lot of writers. If you're feeling that, do not worry. It is almost like par for the course of writing. I always think of these things as almost an initiation of the writer. We get all enthusiastic, we can write, we write, and then something happens. This fear can come up and that resistance can begin, and procrastination happens, and a myriad of reasons, I'm sure. I want you to know that you're not alone if that's what you're going through. I'm going through it at times myself. We all need strategies to help us to overcome it. But be mindful that life does get in the way, and it's okay if that happens, as long as it's not a long drawn out thing that you're allowing your writing to go by the wayside. When we commit to writing a novel, it's a long-term project. Remember that. And maybe doing some journaling on, is this resistance because of external situations happening in my life? Or is it fear coming up to talk to me about how important this is and what's the real message there, so that I can overcome it, so I can integrate that shadow side of myself, so to speak, and that archetypal part of myself that's sabotaging my progress, and be friends with it so that it can sit by your side rather than trying to drive the writing bus, if that makes sense. Remember that if you're struggling with staying accountable and fitting your writing in, do not judge yourself. There is no judgment. Please be kind to yourself. There's enough cruelty and unkindness in the world as it is, so be kind to yourself. You're doing the best you can now and always. And as long as you keep showing up and having a go and being consistent, it's inevitable it'll happen. So life has lots happening, and we all have a lot of people to care for. We've got work, we've got obligations, we need money, we need to pay bills, all that sort of stuff. But I ask you, can you fit in 15 minutes of writing somewhere? Can you fit in 25 minutes of writing? If that's all you did for 4 or 5 days a week, you would have a lot of writing done, because your brain would go, that's focus time, I'm going to get it done. What strategies have you used so far to help you overcome procrastination when it comes to writing your stories? I would really love to know, and I would love to see that put down in the comments. And of course, also if there's any kind of specific topic that you'd like me or myself and Jared to cover in videos on the channel, or also as a part of our podcast that we do, and you can see the full video here on the channel, or you can listen to it via Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So we're keen to hear anything that you want us to talk about. We'd love to hear about it. It'd be about creativity, overcoming challenges. It's about finding that sense of wonder and awe and reclaiming ourselves, especially if you've been feeling like the world's been heavy. So let's find that positivity for ourselves. So likewise, let us know what we can do to help you get back in touch with your creative flow and your sense of wonder. As I said before, check out empoweredwords.com.au for fiction coaching and sign up to our newsletter so that we can stay in touch with you. And don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your writing friends. I hope this helps. Until next time, happy fiction writing, dream big, and most importantly, have fun. Bye for now.